This time on Low Boost, we're going to go over 5 things you need for a track day for less than $100. Doing a track day is something that if you're a car enthusiast, you 100% have to do at least once to see if you like it, and I basically guarantee you're going to love it. But it can be expensive, so I want to go over a couple of things that you absolutely need to do a really good track day that is going to make your life so much easier, and you'll be able to have so much fun and to be able to save as much money as you can doing track days. Number 1. The first thing you're going to need that I still can't figure out how people can go on a track and not get this is a lap timer. It's an application you can get for your phone that you can put your phone right up on the dash and it'll overlay your laps that you're doing and videotaping and in real time have it on your screen so you can save it and view it later. It is a quintessential tool to have when you're on the track because you can really see where you're doing well and where you're not doing well. And there's a bunch of different applications that work. There are ones that are free. I use an application that's called HotLap. You can get it on the iTunes store for free. There are other ones that you can purchase, but if you're just looking to try it out for the first time to see if you like it, I really suggest HotLap. There are other applications that are out there that are compatible with things like a V-Box, like Track Addict, which you can plug into your car, and it measures things like your brakes, your throttle, your RPMs to really help fine-tune as you're looking at your laps to get better. Looking at all that geometry, like your G-force, entry and exit in turns, how fast you're taking the turns, is really paramount to being able to improve. So you might have 30 laps you can go through after your track day's done and really see where you missed in some laps and where you could pick up in others. And it's like having someone there in the car with you telling you what to do afterwards. It is awesome. So make sure you guys get a lap timer. Also, you're going to want to brag to your friends when you get your personal best. And I don't care who you talk to, if you don't have a lap timer to show your lap, it didn't even count. It didn't count. You can't say that. Don't say that.
Don't you ever do this.
Number 2. Especially if you're going to be out in light rain, the last thing you want to have to worry about is to actually mess with your wipers when you're out there. So I always get RainX, and I put a link in the description below to it because you can get them on Amazon for like 2 of them for 15 bucks. You put it on your windshield, and you don't even need to use your wipers nearly as much as you would if you didn't have RainX. I even put it on my regular car to drive around for work because it works so well. The water just beads right off of it. Number 3. Speaking of rain, you are also going to want to bring a tarp. You're probably going to have food and water and maybe some cameras and other electronics that you're going to bring to the track. You don't want them to get wet because, trust me, for some reason it always rains when I go. So I get a tarp. It's like $8 on Amazon. Again, link in the description below. It just covers everything. Also, a lot of times as well, some tracks don't really have chairs or places for you to hang out. And outside of sitting in your car, especially if it's hot out, it's always good to bring some lawn chairs. So I put a link in the description below to some lawn chairs. This is one I have. It's really cheap, $15, $16, and it serves its purpose for you when you're out on the track. Number 4. Speaking of which, covering your electronics and your food and water, make sure you bring food and water. The tracks that you may be going to might have it there, but they're going to charge you more than normal. And you don't want to have to run all the way up to the concession stand when you don't have that much time to rework and retweak your car in between sessions. So having some water and some non-perishable food on standby is a great thing to have, and it saves you a lot of time. Also, especially if you're going to be out there doing 15, 20, even 30-minute sessions, the G-forces get to you. You are going to want to stay hydrated, or you could get a little dizzy and maybe sick. And especially if you have passengers, make sure they stay hydrated because you can really make them throw up. Number 5. The last thing that you absolutely need, and it's a couple of things, is tools. Now, if you have sockets and stuff, and other things that you want to bring, it's always good to bring those, but here are some cheap ways to do it. You always want to have some type of portable tool bag that you can take in and out of your car quickly and easily. I put a link in the description below to one that I like to use that's really portable. Also, having a tire pressure gauge. You are going to want to let air out of your tires in between sessions and really kind of keep track of your tire pressures, and having a good gauge with one that can bleed out tire pressure is essential for having a successful and a good track day, because you don't want to have your pressures be too high or you have your pressures be too low when you're out there. You want to be able to keep it at whatever the specifications are for the tires that you're using. Me, for example, I actually like to have my tire pressures on my Toyo R888Rs around 28 PSI, and then when they heat up on track, they're usually around 32, but I like to keep an eye on that. So that's why it's good to have a gauge. Also, you're going to want a torque wrench. I put a link in the description below to the torque wrench that I use. It's really not that expensive. You're going to want to torque your wheels down, especially before you head out on your first lap. And check your torque during the day, because the last thing you want is a wheel or a bolt to fly off and hit somebody else, or hit somebody else's car, or you have your wheel fly off and you wreck. It's just an easy peace of mind thing before you go out there. I also put a link in the description below for a really cheap socket set. Hopefully you guys already have them, but this one's $8. It's got like 36 pieces to it. I really suggest either going with that or figuring out another alternative for sockets. Now, down the road, you're probably going to want to upgrade some of these things and get something better, or you're gonna want to bring an extra set of wheels and tires, so you're going to need to find a jack or something like that, and those things are great. But if you just want to get out there and go for the least amount of money possible, you can go with any car you want, and you can race the set of tires you have on there and just send it as it is. This is the way to go. So there are a lot of other things that you can bring to a track. People bring entire trailers full of equipment, other parts, wheels, tires, you name it, they bring it. But this is just a minimum thing. So don't think that I'm just saying that like you don't need anything else, because you can get very expensive and spend tens of thousands of dollars on parts and stuff to bring to a track, or you can spend 100. There's a lot of variables. But you want to make sure you bring some tools, even more so than just these, but all this stuff together actually equals less than $100. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think that I missed something, or you think that there's something else you could get for a better deal. I tried to keep this as budget friendly as possible. That way it makes it easier for you guys to get out there and get on a track, because it is so much fun. And as a car enthusiast, it's probably one of the best things you can do. So thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure you like this video if you think make sure you like the video if you think it's worthy of a like, and make sure you guys subscribe. I have a bunch of other videos that I do with my M235 that I track. I have a BMW E36 Turbo LS swap that I'm working on. I also have a 1953 Ford F100 pickup truck that I'm restoring with my father. And we also have a 1970 Camaro that we're doing a T56 LS1 swap in. So make sure you guys stay up to date on all of my uploads. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you in the next one.